and welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host PBO, and you're joining me on the Weekly Galley News Roundup. This is a little show dedicated to all the top news that's happened throughout the week. We go through the internet, pick out the top 5 stories in all different categories, from sports to news to movies to television to just craziness, and break it all down for you and bring it back. So let's kick this sucker off. Alright, let's start off with a little bit of movie news. So this week, Disney's decided to pull on our heartstrings and bring back some classics that we haven't seen in a while. First, we get the Mary Poppins Return trailer starring Miss Emily Blunt, and that already got us going. And then they go and drop the Christopher Robin trailer, where we finally get a live-action Winnie the Pooh with none only than Obi-Wan Kenobi, Miss Ewan McGregor, and man, they're really trying to get us nostalgic today. So those 2 movies are coming out, and that should be a lot of fun. I mean, they look interesting. Hopefully they're as good as the trailers seem to be. Because recently, we've had a couple movies that are just not that good as the trailers. We'll have to wait to check those out. Also in the movie news, still in the same family, Disney, which is Lucasfilms, has just announced that Mr. Jon Favreau, that's right, Jon Favreau, the director of Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Jungle Book, the new Lion King coming out next year, is going to Lucasfilms to join Star Wars. He's going to write and produce a new television series for the Disney streaming service. We have no idea what it is. I'm very excited. Jon Favreau is an amazing writer, producer, and director. He has made a lot of different things, from Zephora to Iron Man to his early works to Swingers, baby, Vegas, baby. I mean, he's a great writer and producer. I will say it is a little weird because all the last people that Lucasfilms has hired have been white guys. So, I mean, it does give the bad perspective. But then when you really look at who these people are, I mean, you wouldn't got Jon Favreau, who's already in the Disney family, already made blockbusters on both sides for them. Then you got Dan and Dave, who created the biggest television show in the history of television shows. So it's hard to see that, but I'm telling you, if they really want to make a splash and if they really want to make sure that they get people on the list, they need to either drop Mr. Ryan Coogler or Miss Ava DuVernay saying that they're going to get something in the Star Wars world, and then you get a little less heat on you, and everybody will praise Jon Favreau for being hired. So until then, just going to have to deal with the ridicule. All right, now we're moving on to a little sports news. This week in the world of sports, we got the start of March Madness. Now, you're probably looking at me going, what are you talking about? Tournament's not on. I know. This is like the pre-party. This is like the let's get funky dance party. We're in the conference tourneys right now. So all this weekend, every single conference around the NCAA basketball divisions are having their tournaments. The winner of each of these conferences get an automatic bid into the field of 64, and then it'll be filled out by the rest of the teams on Selection Sunday. So make sure you get all ready, because you know exactly what next week is. It's bracket time, baby. So everybody's going to break out the brackets. Come back next week. I'll have my bracket for you, show you what I picked. Maybe I threw a couple darts at the wall, saw a couple of mascots I thought were really cool, or maybe just some name looked good and I thought they'd go all the way. You never know. It's the NCAA tournament. Also in the world of sports, the NFL Combine has just completed. Now, some of you might not know what the NFL Combine is. It is basically the NFL's version of watching grown men run around in spandex and check out to see if their weight, their height. I mean, it's like a big old meat market. Just kidding. It's actually a really good event. It's where all the young potentials that want to enter into the NFL draft go and get scouted by the NFL all in one place. It's a big weekend event, happens over 5 days, and they do get treated and prod like they are, kind of like meat. And then they run around in spandex doing 40s, cone drills, catching balls, and a bunch of nerds like myself go, oh man, that was great. You see that? I know, that was amazing. He ran that 40 pretty fast. I can't wait to see that. Oh, I wait to who comes on my team. So, you know, it gets everybody juiced up. With that, next week we got the start of free agency, and that's really going to kick off. That starts off on March 14th, and that's going to be big, so that'll really see what teams go crazy after that point, because one of the biggest things after the Combine is now that everybody's kind of set up and we've seen where everybody's at, now we get to see what teams are really desperate enough to trade up to that number 1 pick, maybe that number 2 pick, and who's willing to bank their whole future on this one guy that they really want. Time will tell. Can't wait to see what happens. Now into the what was going on when they were thinking about this news in the WTF news. Russia has just announced that for their 2018 FIFA World Cup, they're going to allow you to bring cocaine, heroin, and cannabis with a note. Not just any note, but a doctor's note. A loophole, a loophole in their law is allowing for soccer fans to bring this to Russia to the World Cup just as long as you register. So everyone make sure you fill out all your forms before you head to Russia so you can have a great time. No thank you. Bad enough soccer football fans are crazy as it is. They have their own little moniker. They brawl in the middle of the stadium. Then you want to give them supplements to make them go crazier? I'm good. I'm going to stay right home and watch that on tape delay. Well, there you go, folks. That is your weekly. There you go, folks. There is the Weekly Galley News Roundup. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this week. Please come back, check out next week when we go back through the next top 5 stories that we see around the internet. Until next time, folks. Good night, Ted.